For a long time now, I have been bothered by the word art, or are, in the Lord's Prayer. Are is plural. Our Creator who are in heaven, our Father who are in heaven. Is the Creator more than one person? Is the Creator a plural? Well, the Lord's Prayer is not about God. The prayer is to God. If Jesus were praying about God, he would say, Our Father who is in heaven. But the prayer is to God. And as we have just sung, how great thou art, which means how great you are, the you is understood in the Lord's Prayer. So try inserting the word you as follows. Our Creator, you who are in heaven. Our Father, you who art in heaven. The Church of England solves this problem, this confusion, by saying God, our Father in heaven. Well, I thought I'd clear up that little mystery for you. Today is Rally Day, and it is a time to begin again. And it is a good time to reflect on our basics. I'd like to talk this morning about God. Harry Emerson Fosdick, a renowned preacher of the 20th century, was once visited by a young man who said, I don't believe in God anymore. And rather than arguing with him, Fosdick said, well, tell me about the God you don't believe in. And after he finished, Fosdick said, I don't believe in that God either. How reassuring that must have been to the young man to have his doubts not dismissed, but affirmed. And hopefully that conversation propelled him to authenticate his doubts and build for himself his own belief system. The young man is not the only one doubting. Christianity is in sharp decline in America. According to research done by the Pew Research Center, over the last 10 years, the number of Americans who identify as Christians has dropped by 13 million. In 10 years, 13 million. And those who identify themselves with no religion at all, that number has grown in the last 10 years by 30 million. And this is across the trends of race, gender, geography, education. Perhaps increasing numbers find they don't believe in God anymore, or the God they were taught to believe in, they don't believe anymore. And the tragedy is they no longer call themselves Christians. Over the years, these vast many years, I've heard parents and grandchildren lament the fact that their children and grandchildren are not in the church. Can you imagine what the attendance would be here this morning if all the children and youth who were raised in this church and who are in the area were here? Now, perhaps they don't go so far as to not believe in God anymore, but evidently God and this church are no longer important to them, no longer relevant to them. So let's talk about God this morning. Beginning with what God is not. God is not a man. And certainly not an old man up in the sky with a beard and resembles Santa Claus. God is not a man. God is not a woman. God is not a person. God is not a being. We have been taught that God is the supreme being, right? But God is not a being. God is not a place like Jerusalem. God is not a thing. In fact, God is not a noun, a person, place, or thing. What is God? God is a verb, an acting verb. God is spirit, said Jesus. God is spirit, not a man, woman, being, place, or thing. God is spirit. And he did not say God is a spirit. He said God is spirit. I like the word energy. God is energy, acting. God is not spirit in the noun form, but in the acting, verbing, moving, actual acting energy. Nikos Kazantzakis, in his book, The Saviors of God, defines God as the cry. God is the cry deep within you, deep within the universe, the relentless, persistent, throbbing, pulsating cry within all of life, crying, get up and move, live, create. Why is God punishing me is not relevant. God is not up there on the cloud decreeing or calling, you shall do this, you shall not do that. God is not decreeing that bad things happen to good people. God is not punishing someone by giving them cancer. God is not decreeing that a child is shot by a senseless drive-by shooting or in the school. God is not punishing. A pastor once asked a man who was suffering what he had done wrong. Blame the victim is a popular American pastime. Blame the victim. Another pastor prayed for healing, and when the woman was not healed, he told her she did not have enough faith. There are a lot of vicious theories about God out there. God is not out there willing, decreeing, punishing. God is now not out there demanding blind faith or doubts with no doubts or questions. God is totally involved. God is spirit. God is energy. God is within every being, within every atom, within every molecule, crying, get up. Live. Get moving. I believe God is in the cancer healing, bringing good out of evil. God is involved in what you do, how you feel, how you react. God is in every heartache. God is in every child crying for food, crying for love. God is in every youth looking for acceptance. God is in every mistake, in every humiliation, in every pain. God is there crying, get up, get moving. You can do it. Follow Jesus into tremendous adventures. God is in the First United Methodist Church of Palo Alto crying, get up, get moving. Yes, we have problems. Yes, we have lost members. But don't look to the past. Look forward. Today is rally day. Let's rally our forces, press on, full steam ahead, reach out, get moving. Invite your children and grandchildren to church. Invite your neighbors. There are neighbors you have neighbors who need Jesus, who need the message of this church, who need the love and the fellowship of this church. There are children, youth, young adults, single, young couples, retired, all who need the message of this church, who need encouraging Christians to stand by them and stand with them. Do you have neighbors who have no church? Do you know what their church is? It's a simple question. Do you have a church? Simple question. If not, invite them and bring them. Open your hearts. Open your arms. God has work for you to do. And God cries for you to do it with faith and courage, knowing that when you do reach out, you might get criticized, you might get clobbered, but God pushes you, and God cries, get moving. Or is your God a comfortable old shoe you put on to make you feel good? Is your God a bumbling old fool who won't hold you accountable, who allows you to waste your life, your talents, who allows you rationalizing all your behaviors and attitudes, who allows you to manipulate your God around your little finger? Is that your God? No, God is that cry within you crying, get up, get moving, and follow Jesus. Do you want just enough religion to feel respectable and have little to do with the Creator who made you, the Jesus who loved you, the Holy Spirit who powers you? We just sang, God of love and God of power, you have called us to this hour. So you have two choices this morning. Individually and together as the First United Methodist Church of Palo Alto, two choices. You can stifle the cry. You can tell God to go pick on someone else and leave me alone. Or you can heed the cry and get up and get moving and follow Jesus. Yes, Lord, I will follow you. I'll go where you want me to go, dear Lord. I'll do what you want me to do. Two choices. Leave me alone. Or yes, I'll get up and follow Jesus.